Good morning, friends. Cheryl here with Inked Pulp, and we're going to do something a little different today. I'm so excited. My sterling shipment came yesterday, and I thought, man, I got to get some rings made. I'm starting to panic a little because not only is my show coming up, but I've been invited to put my stuff in a booth here in Hendersonville in one of those shops, that has lots of vendors in it and each vendor gets a space. Well, I have a friend here. She does clothing and um, she takes old vintage clothes and she repurposes them. I'm sorry, I'm just straightening wire right now because I need to get this straight for a ring. So while I talk and let people come in, I'm going to straighten some wire. So anyway, I've been invited to participate in this booth, and then I have some really big shows coming up. So I'm thinking, man, I really got to get on the bandwagon and get some stuff made here. So, good morning. I didn't even say good morning. I just jumped right into things. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you all are having a great morning. Still waiting for people to come in, but I don't think, oh, it's just barely 8:30. So today we're going to make some sterling freeform rings. And my freeform rings are made with sterling silver wire that are soldered together to make sort of a band. And I got to get them fairly straight because they have to be kind of touching to. Oh, hey, Mike. I'm doing metal today. I'll get one of those rings here just a second and I'll show you what they look like. So I'm working on straightening out my wire here, Mike. That's always the hard part, right? When you want to solder it together, it's gotta be straight. Boy, I left my pickle pot on overnight and I hate when I do that. I try to be really cautious of that. And when I came in this morning, there was still a little bit of water in the bottom of the pot. So burn up my crock pot, thank goodness. Um, let's see, we're still waiting for some folks as we've got a few in here, but Mike's the only one talking. How are you doing, Mike? Hey, I saw your picture come through, and I'll probably not today because I'm at the metal bench, but I'll share with the group. Um, like I said, I'm panicking a little. I made another bag the other day to sell. There we go. Hang on one sec. Let me get one of these rings like I'm gonna make. Well, my rings are all packed away from the last show, so I can't show you, but you'll see as we go. So basically what I'm gonna do is solder these three pieces, and I'm using 16 gauge wire. I'm gonna solder these three pieces in fairly in the middle, and then I'm gonna ball the ends of the wire and then form the ring, and then I'm gonna do some freeform work with the ends with the balls on them. Thanks, making a candle holder with a twisted copper stem. Oh, yeah, there's a few copper things I would like to make, and I just haven't. They're prototypes, and I just haven't. I won't say I haven't had the time. I haven't taken the time to work on the prototypes. Yesterday, I spent almost my entire afternoon, once my metal order got here, I was cutting out night lights because I need to make up about 60 of them. So I was cutting out night lights. There we go. That's better. So the metal has to be touching in order for the solder to flow. I know you know that, right? So look at this, Mike. This is just a sample of the ones that I cut out. This is the state of North Carolina. Some chickens. I've still got part of my template on there, but I've got some chickens. I've got a bear. I've got a bunch of hummingbirds. I was getting low on those. And then I'm working right now on the moon and stars. So I've got a bunch more to cut out today once I finish this. And then I do want to make more of these rings, a few more for my show. So I've got plenty to do. All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to use medium solder on these. We'll let people just wander in as they wander in. Click somebody else joined. So I'm just cutting in. I'm only going to solder right in the middle because I want those pieces of wire to be able to flare out. So I cut the wires this morning, and they don't have to be exact because we're going to ball up the ends anyway. So they don't have to be exact. Now, what did I do with my brush? There it is. I'm going to take a little flux, paint those right sort of in the middle. It doesn't, again, none of this has to be exact, which is part of the reason I like making some of this. Cheryl, and by the way, she just called me. She's having horrible storms. Their internet's out. She only has her phone, and that's going in and out. So she probably won't be here today. But what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. All right, now we're going to put, you'll see these rings don't take all that long to make. Oh, Cheryl was showing me a ring that she had, and it was so precise. I mean, it was beautiful, but to make something like that, oh my gosh, the precision it would take. You get one measurement off and the whole thing's ruined. And I don't like to craft like that personally. I like to be able to have, well, one, I don't want to have to measure like that. I just don't. And I think the work is beautiful, but I do this because I love it, not because I want to spend hours and hours measuring things. So what I'm doing, I don't know if you can see, I'll hold it up in just a minute. I'm putting a piece of solder right in the grooves where the wires come together. And I'm alternating one side and the next. So let's see if you can see this. See the little pieces of solder in there? Hi, Susan. You're just in time. I'm going to turn on the torch and start soldering here. I'm doing metal stuff today, I decided. Get those as close as I possibly can. All right, let's go. Get my torch turned in, and just as a reminder, do y'all see the little blue tip right here? That's the hottest part of the flame. And again, I want to heat the entire piece. And that flux is going to dry first. See how it's getting really white? Turn my torch up just a hair. It's getting really white. And then it will start looking really dirty. And it's starting to look really dirty. And then it will turn glassy looking, and then it will flow. So you can kind of tell when the solder is going to flow based on how your piece is looking. And you want equal heat, so the solder, oh, there we go, I see it going. And that one flowed. Let's do this one. This one's going a little faster because the block is warm already. So it's dirty. And it flowed. And just like that, we soldered those wires together. All right, I'm going to put this in the pickle pot real quick. First, I'm going to quench them so they're not so hot to touch. Because those are mighty hot right now, I'll tell you what. Hey, Julie. How are you? Hey, Wendy. I am making rings this morning. So I'm putting them in the pickle pot, and they'll have to sit there for a couple minutes, and that will take all that dirty, nasty stuff off of them so I can work with them. And who else has come in? I'm trying to keep up with this. How are you, Wendy? Are you guys on your camping trip yet? Yeah, it is pretty cool. I need to make some rings, and I thought, oh, we've been doing so much paper crafting. Let's do something a little bit different. I have another type of ring. You see this one has some pattern. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got some pattern. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There it is. See the pattern in that ring? And so, oh, leaving this afternoon. Okay. So I'll make these rings, and then oh, this one came apart. That's why I didn't do anything. I soldered it, but it didn't stay soldered. I didn't solder it good enough. And then I'll put a ring around it, a spinner, and then flare the ends out and make a spinner ring out of it. I probably won't do it with this one, but because it's too narrow. But I've got some other rings in here that are really pretty much finished. I just need to, like, here's a band. I don't know why I didn't just finish this and put it in my store, because it's done. I've got several rings in this little bag that just need to be finished up. So I'll do that. I discovered how I was my friend. Oh, yeah. I do go over and comment on her videos, and she comes over and comments on mine. I don't know if she's ever here for the early morning, but okay, let's see how these are doing. Where are my, now the pickle pot is a crock pot that has water, and I use pH down in mine. That's good enough. See how they're all clean. They're not super clean. I mean, I could take the wheel to them, but we're going to heat them again, so it doesn't matter. So now these are soldered together, and I can open up the ends because I just soldered in the middle. And they're not going to be all exactly the same. That's okay. See, that one soldered up to there a little bit. Now, if I wanted that to be closer, in fact, I might just do this. I could take my saw and run down through that where it soldered a little farther than I wanted it to. Usually I have a product called yellow ochre, and yellow ochre will stop wherever it's painted on. It will stop the solder from flowing. But I couldn't find it this morning. I don't think I've had it since I moved here. I don't think I've used it. So I got to figure out if it's still packed away somewhere. Yeah, Debbie really is sweet. She definitely comments on my videos. I just don't think she's ever been here for art. I don't think she has. She may have gone back. I don't know, what time zone is she in? It may be. It's really being kind of chattery. It may just be that she's in a time zone where it's not convenient for her to come. I don't remember where she lives. So I'm just sawing right down that seam so I can pull this out. And then I can, it's kind of a little rough there where I sawed, but I can sand that down. I can round that out. That's easy enough. I want them a little closer. And I should have this piece in a bench block, but I don't, my bench block is on my other, it's just a wooden piece that clamps onto the bench so that you can rest the piece that you're sawing up against it. And I've got it all set up for my night lights, which I'll be back to as soon as we finish this. All right. There we go. So now they're a little closer at least. And I spread these because I have to heat each end individually. Hey, Penny Pudge, I'm making sterling rings this morning. Oh, see, this one did it too. So anyway, what I was saying about the yellow ochre is that you can paint it. Like I could have painted it on, and the solder will not flow past the yellow ochre. So it makes it easier to get even solder seams, but it's not the end of the world. I can deal with it. It's just a little more cleanup for me. Okay, that one goes there. So yeah, I didn't now I know why I like using the yellow ochre, because it really does make life a little bit easier, but this is fine. We're just going to saw those seams back open a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and I'm not watching chat real close. So now there's our rings. And I'm going to, I probably have to put more gas in this. I'm going to use my little butane torch for this, because what I can do is set it on the desk, turn on the flame, and then what I do is hold these ends in the flame and it'll ball them up. I'm just not sure if there's no gas in it. Hope everyone, yes, doing very well. So you just take this container and there's a little opening in the bottom of the torch. And we just hold this until it fills up, and you'll know it's full because it'll start sputtering. So we'll fill this up. That's why I'm going to stop there, because every time, it doesn't need to be completely full. Every time I leave it overnight, the thing empties out. I need to get a new torch. All right, so watch this, you guys. I'm going to try to do it so you can see it. So I've locked my torch on, and I'm going to take I don't know if you can see this or not. Well, maybe I can do it this way. So I'm just going to heat that middle wire. Bring it up this way. See how it formed a ball? I want more. And remember I said the tip of where that blue flame is the hottest part. So that's where I'm putting the wire. Whoa, that went quick. Even out a little. So sometimes the balls kind of go one way or the other depending on how you're holding it and how it decides to go. So I just move it around in the flame till I get what I want. But what I really want is for it to, there we go, that's a perfect one. So you may not be able to actually see it ball, but it just melts on the end and pulls up into a ball. And that's how I get all the little balls that I use like in my settings and stuff. There. See how that one has balls on all the ends? Can you see that? Let's do the next one. These tweezers that I'm using, they have wooden handles on them, or a wooden spot that doesn't conduct heat. So if I use just metal tweezers, the heat would come right up the metal. But see this wooden spot, this wooden bit right here? That's what I hold on to, and it doesn't get hot. Can't use just plain metal tweezers. Gotta use this, but nothing, it's like even the pliers that I use are special for jewelry because regular tool pliers have teeth in the jaws. And those teeth will leave marks on the metal. So like all of my pliers are smooth. The jaws, inside the jaws of the plier are all smooth, so that I'm trying to hold it straight up and down over this because that's what will give the best ball on the end. Hold the heat just above where you want it to ball up. Heat that metal just above, and then it'll pull up once it gets to melting temperature. There we go. All right, that's done. You love this, Julie? Most people do. Oh, I have parallel pliers. I don't know where they are right now, but yeah, oh, there they are. I've got parallel pliers and I love them. And for you guys who don't know what that is, do you see when I close these pliers, both the top and the bottom meet. They both come together versus a pair of pliers like this. There's a gap in there. They don't, I don't know, you have a whole plier surface that comes down. So no matter where you put your wire or whatever in there, it's going to get the same pressure. And that doesn't happen with regular pliers. So, all right, I could go back in the pickle right now, but I'm not going to. And because I've heated this metal, it's really soft now, which is good. Yeah, 12 gauge copper is tough. You need to anneal it first. Oh, let me show you guys something. Speaking of 12 gauge copper, I make these little things and they sell like crazy. They can be either used as hairpins, you know how people will see, and they're made to be wonky like this. They're not made to be, you know, like real straight. Or they can be a scarf pin, and fall is coming. So if it's a loose weave scarf, you can't put it in a real tight weave. You'd poke holes in it. But in a loose weave scarf, you can, you know, put this in the scarf, and then I put different shapes at the end of them. So this is all 12 gauge copper, Mike. And I sell a lot of those. People love them. All right, let's now go to the ring mandrel and start shaping. Okay. Where did it go? Did one of you guys move my ring mandrel? Because it's not in its regular drawer, and I'm usually pretty good about that. Oh, I have another one. Here's the other one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this. Now, there's two sides to it. One side, and I can clean this up, but the solder, you can kind of tell where the solder is, and it'll clean up and get really nice and smooth, but I'm still going to put that on the inside where you don't see it. Where you don't see it as much. So I'm just going to bend this around. Oh, that's what I forgot to grab. Hang on, let me get my rubber, or not my rubber, my rawhide mallet. And I'm going to, now I can pull these back together again. Oh, these are going to be little rings. I just cut the wire. I didn't really measure. I didn't look at what size I was making. I just cut. And so what I'm doing right now is forming this ring. Oh, these are going to be really little, but that's okay because I get women in my booth. You wouldn't believe how tiny some people's fingers are. All right, so we're going to, and I can come in and form this up more once I get them done. I've only done cold metal work, hammer, copper, and silver nickel with hand stamping with mostly 20 gauge. This is 16 gauge. So now what I'm going to do is take, and this is not formed completely in a circle yet, but it will when I get it done. So now I'm going to take my pliers, and I have to be gentle with this because this does put marks in the metal, but I'm just going to start shaping these pieces. And, you know, sometimes I do just like that and just leave it like that, but I'm not going to do that today. What I want to do is start, see if you guys can see this. So I'm going to pull this over. I'm going to pull this one up a little bit so they kind of cross over each other. And I can even bend this one down so it comes down. See, that's a little tiny ring. But but that's okay. I do sell little rings. Let me see what I want to do here. And I can fold things back on themselves, up, down. I have some of these made up. Actually, I have one that I wear and I love it. And we're going to pull that down. So I've got one wire on each row. How did I do? Oh, I bent the wrong one over here. Let me straighten this one out. The other two are different. So on the other two, and again, we'll hammer all this out in just a minute. This goes under, this goes over and down if I want to make them all consistent. And then this one comes up. I'm doing symmetrical again. Where's Big Mama? I don't always do symmetrical on these rings, but now I can kind of, there, until the wire work hardens, I can mess with it some. Once it work hardens, it's going to get really tough, but then I can go in and anneal it. So there's the basic shape. Now I'm going to put it back on the mandrel. And go around. And then I'll Hi Donna, welcome. So I'm making these freeform rings, and they're freeform because I just sort of bend the wires. However, the first thing I did was to solder everything together, and I'm going to actually bring this one more around to cup that little. See what I did there in the middle? I'm going to pull this down so it doesn't stick up too much and snag on something. So I'm just sort of playing with the wires to kind of look like I want them to look. And then when I get them all the way I want, then I go to polishing and finishing. So I just have to be careful. I'm not pressing really hard with my pliers. I'm giving just enough pressure to move the metal because, oh, that's not the right one. It's this one. Because the more pressure you put on the metal, the more it mars the metal, marks it puts in, and that all has to be polished out then at the end. So the little superficial marks, the little superficial marks that I have on here are not going to be that hard to take out. All right, you see how I'm changing this up a little? And I'm putting those, I'm going to pull these up because I want to do something different with those. See in the middle there how I've got those two kind of going that way? I can, well, I think I'm going to leave it like that because I've got, this is a really small ring. And so Let's pull this down here. And now we'll work on the top one. And it's starting to get hard, but if it gets too hard, I can always anneal it and make it soft again. So I'm going to put these up here. These down here. And again, it's just a matter of playing with it till you get a... I like designing like this because I have the basic idea of what I want to do, but I'm not, other than a size, if I'm making one for a specific person and I needed a certain size, that's one thing. But I am able to sort of do whatever. I'm not stuck to one design. I can just kind of do what I want to do. All right. I think I'm just going to poke that under there. Okay, I'm going to put this in the pickle so we'll be able to see it better. But do you see that design that I have on there? So it'll probably fit on my pinky ring. But it's just a freeform thing. I'll stick this in the pickle so it'll clean off some of the black and you can see it better. And then I'll polish them up offline. And I'll change the thumbnail on the video to be these two once they're done. And I may play with them some more. But that's basically it. There's a ring. And it's soldered on the back. Now, it's not, it doesn't sit straight. It's funky looking. So I would drop it on the floor is what I would do. And then hope I can find it again. I would probably take it and hammer down so that these two sides were even. And then I would put it back on the ring mandrel and make sure it's all round because it doesn't look to be. But see in the back here, we've got all of these wires that were soldered together. And then they open up so we can make our design. Whoops. That's got to come down. And then I sort of hammer the little balls into place so they don't stick up too far. And that also changes them a little bit, gives them a little more dimension. And there it is. There is our ring. And there's the design on it. Now I already see something that I want to change. I'll pull that up there. Okay, let's put that in the pickle and see what it looks like when it comes out. And we'll work on the... I love the funky hand wrought style. Oh, me too. That's my design style. What is forming the bubble on the... Oh, what I did, I took 3 pieces of wire and I laid them out straight. I soldered them in the middle. And then I took... If you heat silver to the melting point, it will ball up. It'll pull up and form a ball. And so I just heated the end of each piece and made a ball out of it. And then this is another one because I used about the same size wire. So this one's going to be really little too. So these are 2 really little rings. But you know, I get little girls in sometimes and they want something. They buy a lot of the stack rings because they're only $16 and their parents can handle $16. All right, there we go with that, a basic shape. The pickle, yeah. Pickle is it's a common term in the jewelry making business. See how this ring has a lot of fire scale on it? See how it's all black from the torch being on it? Um, Pickle takes all that off. And then you can, take a buffing wheel and buff it. So let's see what I want to do this time. And so that'll sit in the pickle for a little bit, and then it'll come out clean. It'll come out clean, and then not completely clean. I'll still have to buff it and polish it and shine it up, but it won't have all that fire scale on it. All right. So let's see, what do I want to do on this one? But if we take this piece and take it all the way under all the pieces and bring it back up again. And this piece all the way under and bring it back up again. So that's the start. Oh, by the way, you guys, some of you are not on my email list, and if you want to be, just let me know. You can either let me know, well, you need to send me your email address. Send it to me, inkedpulp@gmail.com. I just posted a new reference. I'm putting together a list of the sites that offer freebies on their channel. And I'm doing it not so much to, get us all free resources. And I made that very clear in my email, actually on the post. But to support these creators who are making freebies. And so while they do offer freebies, they also either have paid, not subscriptions, digitals, or you can do like buy me a coffee or make a donation in their Ko-fi shop. So I'm just getting started with it, but I put up the ones that I know about right now, and I will keep adding to it. Where can you find this document? It is on my Facebook, Inked Pulp Facebook page. And I did send a message out to my YouTube subscribers or my email subscribers yesterday, letting them know. So if you didn't get that email, it's because you're not on my list. And you just need to get on my list. Okay. So here's two sides. Now the two sides are still open, so we're going to go hammer them together and make this a ring. I'm going to try to pull that down closer there. But yes, these are very organic rings. That's why I call them freeform rings. This is hard to do and stay on camera. So I want to pull these together, and they don't have to go all the way together. Some rings are really cool if there's like a little gap right in the middle. I have a couple of those. And you see how this piece is acting kind of wonky over here. They all fit really nice. Over here, it's being kind of wonky, so I'm going to push it down with my pliers. Now, when I do that, again, I'm putting marks on the metal, so I'm going to have to clean. Ooh, that was a deep one. I'm going to have to clean all that up. But me see if I can. I don't like putting the deep marks on because they're harder to get out. Okay, now because this mandrel is tapered, you want to hammer on the ring and then flip it over and hammer again so it's straight. Otherwise, it'll be wonky. Okay, that piece still is not laying down like I want it to. So now what I'm going to do here, you guys, and I'm just going to use my butane torch, I'm going to anneal this again. And remember, annealing makes the metal soft because it's starting to work harden. And eventually the whole thing will get hard, you know, like a ring is. But because as I hammer it, it work hardens it. Now it's really gray. But that's all right. I'm not worried about the color right now. I'm worried about getting the metal where I want it to be. And by annealing it, it allows me to manipulate the metal better. Oh, Big Mama. Okay, and then I think what I'll do is put that piece kind of on the bottom so it's not as noticeable because it just doesn't want to behave really well. But that's okay. We can work with it. We can work with it. And so this one is not going to be as symmetrical because some of the little arms, you know, the straight pieces of wire that had the bald ends, some are longer than others, which is fine. I like them to be a little asymmetrical. I'm just pulling this over. And again, now I'm really deforming the ring. Look at it, but I can put that back into shape. I don't worry about the ring being round or any of that. Right now, I'm just worried about getting the pattern in the front with the balls. How much time have we used up here? We're at 48 minutes. We're just about an hour, but 2 rings in an hour isn't bad. Now, they're not completely done. Like I said, I need to polish them and do all that, but they will have been shaped. Okay, I think I'm going to pull these two together like this. Actually, with this one under. So what I'm doing is pulling them together. Nope, I want that over the top, just like that. And so we've got some stuff coming out the top. And Big Mama, it's asymmetrical, my dear. And then I'm going to pull this one back down to fill in this space a little bit. I've got this open space here. And I want to put something in there. Oh, there we go. I like that one. I like it a lot. This one's a little bit bigger too. Now it popped open again, but now I can always go in and solder that closed just a little bit, and I still have this piece right here that I'm not happy with. And I could go in and solder that. I don't think I want to do that there. Or maybe I will. So here's this, and I want this to go like this, and yes, it is another little piece. So I think what I'm going to do is first get my Optivisor so I can zoom in. And in order to make this stay together, I really kind of like it. Now it's not round, but don't worry about that. I really kind of like this one. Let's pull this. So I just kind of go through and fill in the gaps and make a somewhat pleasing shape. Now what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to go behind here and solder this so that it doesn't come open. And again, I'm not going to worry right now about the shape of it because that's all fixable. I still have some of Daddy's stuff. All right, so let's now, there's a spot right there. I only need to solder it in one spot. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, just enough to hold it together. And as I look at this, I think I'm going to solder it down here. So I'm putting some flux on. Now, we used medium solder in the last, oh, you know what? I didn't. I used easy solder. I grabbed the wrong one. So we'll use easy solder again. You try to work down. Start with, I don't always start with hard. You don't always need hard, but at least medium. And then on your next one, do easy so it doesn't. Thanks, Big Mama. All right, let's put, I think Big Mama likes paper crafting more than metal crafting. I suspect anyway. All right, I'm just putting my little piece of solder in there. I'm going to set this up if I can, and if not, I've got some special tweezers that will hold it. And again, I'm just going to use my butane torch. And soldering tip. And I'm just going to go in and heat that up and solder those two together. There we go. Just like that. Now they won't come apart. Now you notice that they don't have the wooden. I didn't have the flame on it long enough for them to really heat up, but they would have. All right, so now let's just round this baby up and throw it in the pickle, and we'll get the other one out. Mike, have you ever done anything like this? Just weaving wires together? Oh, I didn't solder. It didn't stick. Well, that happens sometimes. And then you just got to go back and do it again. I soldered a different piece together. I didn't get the two that I wanted. Okay. And the pieces have to be touching in order for the solder to flow. So either I didn't have them really touching well enough, or I just had the solder in the wrong place. One of the two. All right. Because that didn't solder it together. Did not work. Okay. That looks like a pretty good solder join there. Let's try that again. Amethyst is really pretty. I've done some like birthstone rings. Actually, I've done a lot of birthstone rings where I stick amethyst in. I've done some other things with amethyst. There are some really pretty stones out there that you can use. And let's see, what's this one? Easy solder. Did I show you guys all of my stones that I have? And I just need to make things with them. Oh shoot. Popped right out of my tweezers. All right, let's cross your fingers, say a little prayer if you're the praying type, and let's see if we can get this thing to solder. Sorry about hitting that. I don't think that's soldered. I don't know that it's soldered. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. By the way, you guys, do you notice that when I am working, I am right-handed. I always hold the torch in my left hand so that if I need to adjust or whatever, I want to have the hand with most control to do that. It took me a long time to learn how to run the torch with my left hand. Okay, let's see if that's soldered together. Oh, it might have. But you want to leave your dominant hand free, so especially if you have an accident or there's just any number of things that can happen, and you don't want to be using your non-dominant hand to, you know, if you drop a piece of hot metal or something flies out. All right, I think, let me do this over here. Sorry about the noise. I need a little something sturdy to solder on top of. All right. And there's that ring. Pretty much. I have a ring extender that I can put this on to make it round up real nice. But let's look at this other one. Okay, here is this one. Check this out, you guys. I think I want... Now, none of this is soldered together where the pieces come together. I didn't do any soldering on this one. But what I'm going to do, I kind of like that. I'm going to, because it's still a little bit loose, I'm going to hammer it some more to work harden it. And then I'm going to put some antiquing on it. So the back side is probably fine. It's this design side that well, that actually came out to be a little bit bigger ring. Okay, now let's mostly the you guys are having some good conversation and I'm missing it. All right. We're going to put this on and it's going to turn it all black, which is fine. Because then we'll buff it back a little bit. And then it goes in the tumbler to shine up. Now, I haven't taken out all of the scratches and stuff yet. I will have to go back and do that, but that's at a different workstation, and I just wanted to show you guys how this works. I don't think so. I've never tried it. Vinegar will patina copper. I've never tried it on silver, to be honest with you. I've never tried it. I've never heard of it. I don't know. Mike, do you know? Is vinegar good for putting a patina on silver? I use a product called Silver Black. And as you saw, it turns it immediately. I'm looking for a piece of steel wool. So then what I do when the ring is all black like this, we don't want to keep it black. So I'm going to take some steel wool. I got it caught in one of those balls. I'm going to take some steel wool and I'm going to buff back the black parts so that the silver shows through and then the black is down in the recessed areas. But see how shiny it's getting? Can you guys see that? This is 4/0 steel wool, which is the finest steel wool you can get. Actually, there aren't a lot of marks on this one. But it's real dark down in the recesses down there, and you can, shine that up a bit or leave it real dark down in there, and then I'm going to go around the inside. That actually fits on that finger. Look at that. Can you guys see that? See, it's just a jumble of, yeah, it's just a jumble. I may play with it a little more and get it, just the way I want it. But that's basically it. Just a very organic pattern. And then antiqued so that it has some character with the color. But yeah, that's it. That's a freeform ring. It's getting really hard because I've been hammering on it. And actually, I don't see a lot of tool marks on there, so I may not have to do much, if anything, on cleaning it up. And this came out to be about a size 7, actually. I would probably wear it this way with that pulling up. Or maybe not. You can wear it whatever way you want. Anyway, that's that one. Let's see what this one is looking like. And then we'll call it a day. Now, this one does need some buffing wheel because the solder flowed a little bit onto the front, so it's not as clean as I would like it. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the I have an Etsy store, but I don't put a lot on there. I usually, my business name, if you want to put this in, Julie, is www.cherylfoils.com. And that takes you to my Etsy store. And there's not a lot in there, but I also, when I make new stuff, I post on Instagram and Facebook. Again, Cheryl Foils Designs. And you can buy from there. I have a goal of keeping my Etsy site a little better stocked because there's not a whole lot out there. I mean, there's some stuff, but the hard part for me, to be honest with you, is like these two rings I'm making right now, they're one of a kind and they're a set size. I can't let people order sizes of this pattern because I could never make it again. And so it's a one of a kind. And if I put it on Etsy and then I go to a show and sell it, I got to get it off Etsy right away before somebody orders it. And so what I prefer to do, like if you wanted a freeform ring, you just send me your size. Yeah, that one's got some marks in it. I'm going to have to work on. You would send me your size and I would make a ring and send you the picture, and you have right of refusal. You're not obligated to take it. In fact, I don't invoice until you see something you like. And if you don't like that one, I'll make another one. And the first one just goes in my show inventory. All right, here's this one. Let's see if we can get it to focus. It's not, the tool marks are still in, so realize I have to fix that, but look at that. Excuse me. Anyway, there's that one. These actually came out bigger than I thought they would. So anyway, yep, there's that one on the finger. Isn't that cool? So now I have two new rings for my show inventory. Medusa ring. Yeah. They're fun. And I could do 4 if I wanted to. I could do 4 strands. I usually do 3 because look, these rings are $55 and actually may go up a little bit more just because of the price of silver has gone up so much. And the more silver I put in them, the more I have to charge for them. And I think they look nice with the 3. So, and I can do a lot with the designs just with 3. So, so I typically keep them to 3, although I can do more. So there they are. I will work on this one a little more. I need to take it over and put my my brushes on it so it cleans up the silver. This one, it's got a little mark right there. I might do a little on this one too. And then what I'll have to do is just re-antique them because it'll take that off. But I can do that offline. So there they are, 2 freeform rings. And now you see how I make them. And I've got 2 new pieces for my inventory. Yay! All right, ladies, I am... Oh, my stones. Yes, thank you for reminding me. I am so scatterbrained, you guys, that you have to remind me of stuff. Okay, this is not all of them, but it's the ones that I've managed to get in cases. So, I guess I can do it this way, maybe. Let's get this guy out of the way. So these are little faceted, these are the birthstones that I use. Some charoite, some opal, some quartz dendrite, some rhodochrosite, a druzy, apatite. There's all kinds of lapis. Oh no, these are the birthstones that I use in my rings. They're CZs, they're cubic zirconia. And then I've got this piece of turquoise that I bought. And these are malachite, which is a really pretty stone. It's green with a little bit of black striping in it. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. Let me open this one. And then this case has bigger stones. And I use these to make rings. This is Larimar, which I love. These three are Larimar. I don't remember what this one is. Looks like sodalite. This is all jasper. All of these are jasper. Different kinds of jasper. This is called picture jasper, and I love it because you see how it kind of makes a picture. It looks like a mountain. This is rhodonite, the pink and black. This one is butter jade, the ovals. This one is apatite, bigger. It's like a deep turquoise. This one is chrysocolla. These right here are coral. They're little roses, and I have a plan for those. I just haven't done it yet. More jade. This is labradite. I love this stone. This is called petersite, and it's got the most beautiful blues and browns in it. Another petersite. I think this is charoite. And this looks like a moss jasper. So those are my stones. I make necklaces. I make rings, earrings. I make all sorts of things out of these. And that's not all of my stones. I still have more that I have to get put away. So, in fact, let me show you one that I'm dying to make a necklace out of, and I just haven't done it. So here's another box of stuff I haven't put away. Oh, look at these. Aren't those cool? I can't remember what that's called, but I got this one. I've just got all of these different. Look at this big piece. Isn't that just gorgeous? Wouldn't that make a beautiful pendant on a long chain? Would I be willing to... I have some black coral. Oh, if you send it to me, I can make you something with it. And I can trade, I don't know how much of it you have, but I can trade making a piece for you as payment. This was my father-in-law's stuff. He cut these stones. Look at that opal. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is a type of quartz, but it looks like flowers to me, like wildflowers. This is a fire opal. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I've got so much. There's one piece. Oh, look at these. If you guys are into these. These are, I don't know what they're made out of, but they're scarabs. Like one for a necklace, and then I've got two little ones for earrings. Aren't those cool? Didn't offer it. Oh, I know you didn't, but I love to make stuff. And if oh, here's some tiger's eye. If I can make you something with it, why not? There's a bunch of stuff in there. There's one piece that I'm looking for, and of course I'm not going to be able to find it, of course. There's another piece, big piece. But yes, I would love to. Look at that, more jasper. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm still looking for, I can't find that piece that I wanted to show you. I may have put it somewhere else. This is plume agate. Ooh, wouldn't that be pretty, like hung like that as a pendant on a chain? Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, I will, Donna. So yeah, I've got, and this isn't even all of what I've got. I've still got more. Look at that pink jasper. This is Amazon Valley jasper. So, look at that snow. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm not sure what that is. Either one. Cheryl Foyle's Designs on Facebook. I usually, what I do is when I post to Instagram and then I have it cross post to Facebook. So they're both going to have the same things on them. I've got these beads. I don't know. I've just got so much stuff. I don't know what to, oh, look at this. Isn't that cool? Somewhere I've got a piece of, it's called Bumblebee Jasper. And it's yellow, bright yellow and black. I've got another bag down here with stuff in it. Let's see if that bumblebee's in here because it is really cool. Okay, yep, here's a whole bunch more stuff. There it is. Look at that bumblebee jasper. Hey, Mimi. That's bumblebee jasper. This is pink. I don't know, pink something. Some little, for earrings, little pears. Some more jasper. This is viper skin jasper. Doesn't that look like a snake? This is more of the rhodonite with the pink and black. I love that. This is Red Creek jasper. This is, I can't read his writing. I'll have to do some research, but look at that pretty blue stone. And I have these. Oh, this is pretty. This is sodalite. Look at the kind of oranges in there with the blues. Yeah, if you just search for Cheryl Foyle's Designs, you should find me. Now, so all of this stuff right here, I went to a bead show, I don't know, 2 years ago, and I bought this stuff. Oh, this is really cool, and I can't remember what it is, but look at that. Isn't that cool? I've not done anything with them. I have all these little beads. I have crystals. I have pearls. And they're all still sitting in the bags. So here's some more pearls, a nasty old paper towel, some more freshwater pearls and round pearls. I just have stuff, and this isn't even all of it. So those are my stones. Oh yeah, dangles. I mean, I can do so much with this stuff. So those are some of my stones. They're not all of them. I've not procured enough boxes to put them all away in. So I have them a little bit of everywhere. And do you think I need to go buy more stones? No. I could work on these for the rest of my life and never finish them. But I will if I know about a beach show coming up, because I think what I'll do with these, I love these scarabs. I'm thinking I'll make a fancy copper bezel. Well, there's a hole through it, but I could still put it in a bezel because it's flat. I think I'll put a bezel around this. Maybe not. We'll see. And then make some dangle earrings to match. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, you guys, I have gone on for an hour and 21 minutes. So I'm going to, for those of you, Donna, you're new here this morning. I don't think anybody else is new this morning. Feel free to come join us any morning. I am on every morning except Thursdays, or if I make a pre-announcement, like I have a show coming up next weekend, so I obviously won't be able to do live crafts. So feel free to join us anytime. Feel free to pass the word on to friends. And yes, give me thumbs up. Hi, Kelly. You need to have them for your big show. Oh, I know. I need to make a lot of stuff for my big show. And I'm getting there. I'm getting some stuff made. I need more necklaces and I need a lot of rings. I'm really, really low on rings. So, and night lights. Holy cow, night lights. I will be cutting most of today. I will be sawing out night lights. This is how many I've got so far cut out, ready to go. Look at the little kitty cat chasing the butterfly. Isn't that the cutest? That makes a really cute nightlight. North Carolina State, the hummingbirds, lots of cats. Oh, this is a new one for me. Chicken on a roost. Dragonfly, moon and stars, more hummingbirds. I sell a lot of those. A bear, chickens. And by the way, I also do custom night lights. So they make wonderful gifts at the holidays. If somebody has a special hobby or thing they're into, you can let me know and I'll work with you on a design. And if there's no extra charge for a custom, but they're $33 a piece and they make great gifts. They're not overly expensive. So think about that if you want to. For that person who has everything and you don't know what to get them, a nightlight is always a welcome thing. So anyway, I'm going to end this before I ramble on and on and on, because you know I love what I do and I could talk about it forever. So you all have a great day. I'm heading over to the sawing bench to saw out some more night lights. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Love y'all. Thumbs up.